Spiritbox are back with a brand new single called No Loss, No Love. I know nothing about Spiritbox other than the fact that they are currently going to be playing at Download this year, which I intend to go to, and I've got several friends who have got quite similar music taste to me who all really like Spiritbox. It's one of those bands that have kind of floated around and it's never quite, I don't know why, I've not been intentionally dodging them, they just never quite came across my plate at the right time. But they are on my list of bands to get into, because I always like that thing about festivals where maybe you go for 4 or 5 bands that you really know, and then there's a couple of names that you recognise, and so you just go in and delve, because it's always worth trying to know a couple of anthemic songs before you go and see a live music. It's just always the way. And, you know, I've ended up discovering some really great music through that system. So, yeah, Spiritbox have been on my list of bands to check out for a while. And then I noticed that they've brought this brand new single out today, so I thought, why not nail down 2 birds with one singular stone and make a nice reaction video out of this, and at the same time introduce myself to Spiritbox for the first time. As a result, I have got no idea what I'm about to sign up for. I don't know what the lineup's like. I assume they're fairly heavy, but I have intentionally gone on total blackout, so this is going to be my absolute first ever exposure to this band, so fingers crossed this is a good place to start, and if it is, this might spawn the beginning of something wonderful and a new fandom. So yeah, screw it, there's nothing else to say. Let's jump in and listen to Spiritbox, No Loss, No Love. Oh, hello. But I assume they were going to be heavy. I did not realise they were going to come out of the gate swinging like that. I mean, you've got to give them credit for the impact on that. Like, what, like 5 seconds of little hype-up drumming and suddenly... Ah! Cool. I quite like what's going on in the background of this song. It's a very, very thick, aggressive wall of sound that's currently being fired in my direction. I'm not going to lie, the vocals are something I hope that turns into something a little bit more melodic at other points in the song. I can deal with screaming. I even like it in some cases. I just need it to not be the whole song. But the wall of sound I'm being projected with the rest of it is great. I bet you they're a great live band. But even based on this, visually, I'm interested. Some of those shots looked kind of cool, the top-down thing with them standing on the platform. I can't tell if that is CGI'd, because there are places in the UK, I don't even know where the Spiritbox are from, but if they are from the UK, there are places around our coast that look like that from above, so I wonder if that is a composite shot or not. Yeah, that shot. I don't think that's real, is it? That bass fill is absolutely amazing. I really, really like the way that kind of like it's filled up the space that was left by the vocals for a second. The guitars are still holding that like sustained, thrashy, almost discordant note, but that little bass fill, it reminds me of a few other bands that I now can't put my fingers on. Who's the band that does Dig Baby? Mudvayne. Reminds me a little bit of Mudvayne. Okay. Bit of spoken word. That's an interesting lyric. I like that a lot. I was surrounded by something I can't eat and diamonds I can't drink. I'm assuming there's like a sort of context talking about the sort of like division of wealth and maybe the value of sort of items when you get put in a situation where it's like survival, that kind of thing. You know, at the end of the day, you can't drink diamonds. That's an interesting lyric. And also the full dropout for a second where it's basically just drums and the spoken word thing was a really nice, it's a very nice contrast between that and the very heavy stuff going on in between. And also visually, I really like it. The black and white can sometimes be pretentious, but it's working for me in this context. And I like the water as an aesthetic as well. The doubling up is an interesting... I like that from a visual perspective as well, the whole sort of like double shot where you've got her upside down and backwards, and it doesn't look like it's just a clone, it looks like they are actually separate shots. That's quite nice. I do like the variation, the stuff that's moving along in the background, but I do kind of wish that the sort of like really strong drone of the really distorted guitars would vary up a little bit. I can hear there's subtlety underneath it. I'm starting to find it a little bit overbearing. Yeah, like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I really like the use of space in this song. Because it's such a thick wall of sound when they're like all firing at all cylinders. When they drop it out for even these little seconds like this, it really does. I don't know. It feels very impactful. The variations on the the guitar stuff that was sort of like happening in the pans and the little bass fills, they all really like come into their own for the brief sections where she's not screaming over it or the like really really rigid guitar stuff is going over the top. It's nice, but it gives the song a very rhythmic feel to it as well, which is also cool. And back to the spoken word bit again. It's cool. It almost sounds like you're standing like there's a rave happening next door somewhere, and you can just catch the little bits of the snare, just a little bit of bass pickup coming through the walls while she's talking to you. It's a very clever effect. I really do like the dichotomy of that.
An island of solace beneath a corpse's feet.
She is interesting to look at as well with the lipstick and stuff. I really like the water imagery. There it is. It's interesting, actually, the guitars, the way that they're being played and the effects going on, I can't tell you exactly what it is. There is some interesting distortion being used on that guitar. But for me, the visuals are really working for this because I don't know, it feels like the sort of backdraft of a wave that's coming in, like a dangerous wave. I mean, audio-wise for the guitars. So synced up with this sort of like big destructive wave coming and destroying everything. I don't know, it's very... I feel like I'm being sucked in almost. Well, that was a journey. Fair enough. I did quite like it. I don't know how much of that I could take in one sitting. I bet you it's fun live. I bet you that wall of death during the... that's actually, I just realised that's absolutely designed to have crazy, crazy mosh pits in it, isn't it? The spoken wordy bits where it slows down and you get the little drum fill thing. I bet you they milk that shit live as well. Get that thing where everyone's running around in a circle and the dust starts to kick up if it's not wet. And then, she starts screaming and heads start splitting. I can see that being quite a fun live experience. Yeah, I like that. I bet you that's a great song to listen to at the gym as well. It's very energetic. I, generally speaking, prefer songs that are more melodic in their vocal approach. I would be curious to know, actually, Spiritbox fans out there, is this typical of them? I'm assuming it probably is, to be fair, but at any point in any of their songs, does she, like, sort of sing rather than screaming? It's not a criticism, I'm just curious, because that would probably make me more inclined to like them more personally. I appreciate a lot the artistry that went into that, and actually, there's quite a lot going on in a fairly short amount of time. There's sort of like the contrast, the up and down, the guitar stuff, the bass little fills. Every time there's a dropout, one of the instruments does something really interesting, which I appreciate a lot. The lyrics, those that I picked up on, I actually really liked as well. The video was great. I really like the black and white. That absolutely worked for me as a visual palette. I like the water stuff. Yeah, no, that was well put together. It was pretty cool. She's got a great growl on her. Christ alive, there's some metal legends back there that should be, scared for their jobs with that on the rise, and honestly, Christ alive. But yeah, no, cool. I'm down. I will probably listen to some more. In fact, again, comment if you are Spiritbox fans. Maybe give me a couple of recommendations of songs that they're likely to play live. If there's a few more melodic ones, I'd like that. But yeah, I'm definitely down for seeing them. I reckon they're a fun live experience. If you've got any recommendations for me, I would love to hear them. Other than that, I think that's probably all I've got time to say. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.